All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have another video focusing on HSR, except this time, this topic isn't going to be about how the game is progressively getting worse, how power creep's getting worse every single patch, how the devs have no idea what they're doing when it comes to selling characters, so they have to put in bullshit like global passives to do that instead. This is going to be a meta discussion focusing on drama when it comes to Honkai Star Rail. And this might be an interesting topic for this creator in particular, Shizukira, to talk about because, well, they had a video posted about 2 weeks ago talking about how Star Rail is an insult to turn-based games. And so it's not like they're, a goody two-shoes in this situation. They're one of the direct perpetrators. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right on into it. Let's see what they have to say regarding some of their, wrongdoings.
If what someone says on the internet bothers you that much, maybe you just shouldn't be on the internet. If I hate the game so much, why the fuck do you think I played it every day? In fact, because my last video has been seen as drama farming, my channel moving forward will likely suffer since making a video that performs that well is going to be a monumental task that I'm not confident I can achieve. If I just wanted to hate, I wouldn't have mentioned the things that I personally prefer and would have instead just said, yeah, no, weakness ain't shit, speed is designed like ass, stop acting like mechanics matter when you can't even fucking read. So let's pull up some of these comments and summon the wrath of the Hoyo community one last time.
That's what's gonna happen every single time you have a legitimate critique about a game that's in the Hoyoverse, or honestly, just like a gacha game as a whole. You're gonna have so many people who have all of this investment when it comes to time, when it comes to money, when it comes to, honestly, how long their brain has spent thinking about the topic. And when you come out with something that threatens the sanctity of a game like HSR, like Genshin, like ZZZ, I see someone write, except ZZZ because they don't care. Even the ZZZ haters don't care enough to talk about it either. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. Let's be entirely honest here. And so, yeah, when you do something that threatens the sanctity of the game in their minds, they're just going to end up in a situation where they saw you posting something that can be construed as negative, even though it's entirely constructive, and they're just going to call you a toxic, drama-baiting goblin. When in reality, all you're really looking to do is fix the game, make it better, correct the wrongs that have been applied to the genre or to the title, and look for a better future. That is what all of these critiques are trying to do. Nobody's trying to bring the game down. The game is already in the fucking depths of despair. They're just trying to draw people's eyes and draw people's attentions towards the thing that is making and putting the game in such a bad state in the first place, so that it can get fixed. But people don't see the forest. All they see is the one tree in front of them. And it is a shocking phenomenon. It is depressing, but it's just something that the community is going to have to deal with when they have such a rabid fan base like this.
Hey everyone, before this video starts, I just want to say that I want to try my hand at review style content, so I'll be streaming Tribe 9 alongside the usual Monster Hunter. I want to keep up with all the new releases, and during quieter months explore some other games I haven't tried, like Blue Archive or Reverse 1999, or something like that. Let me know what you're interested in seeing, and let's get into the video. So last week, I made a video called Star Rail, an insult to turn-based games, and while insult is definitely a strong word to use, that is genuinely how I feel about the game 2 years after its launch. A lot of people had a lot to say, so I want to go over some of the responses and talk about what I think is a massive problem in the Hoyo community, which is the difference between drama and opinions.
If you say anything bad about the game, it's drama. If you point out any flaw with the game, if you point out what could be fixed, if you point out where the devs are falling short and they're not doing their jobs properly, it's drama.
So just to get this out of the way, I don't really give a fuck about what people said about me in the comments. If what someone says on the internet bothers you that much, maybe you just shouldn't be on the internet. This video is not going to be me apologizing because I've given up on Star Rail or because my second actual video on this channel had some oversights. The video at the time of writing this has over 60,000 views, over 1,000 comments, over 4,000 likes with a nearly 90% like ratio. Ooh.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That like ratio, considering the topical area of this video, that's pretty good.
because I no longer enjoy Star Rail and had some opinions that people didn't really agree with. Some of my examples weren't perfect, and we will cover that at the end of this video, but if I knew it was going to blow up, I would have spent more than literally 3 days working on it, most of which was me learning more about editing. Until the last section of this video, it's just going to be second monitor content, nothing important will be on screen, it's just a VOD from yesterday. Feel free to watch this while clicking auto or something. So anyway, let's get into it. Before we talk about the fragile egos of permanently online Hoyo players, I want to let people know my goal is not actually to be a drama tuber looking to ride the Hoyo hate train. I'm just fucking sad that a game I loved now feels shit to me.
One thing that I despise about the current narrative going on around this idea of like there being like a Hoyo hate train, that there are CCs that are just, oh, they're just like jumping in because it's profitable right now. Oh, it's just like a meta thing. Who do you think creates the meta for content creation? Do you think it's creators that decide what the meta is? Do you think it's players in a competitive game that decide what the meta is? No. It's the developers. It's the people who create the game. It's the people who create the game that the content is being made around. Think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen. How would people participate in the Hoyo hate meta unless there was things to hate in the first place? You can't hate without something to hate. And logic would dictate that if the developers just stopped adding in or doing things that could be hated, then there wouldn't be any hate in the first place. It's really just that simple. And the easiest way you can tell that that would be the case is that people loved Honkai Star Rail when there wasn't too much to hate in that fucking game. And they've just happened to add, in every single update since really like 2.x or whatever, they found reasons to hate it because the devs keep fucking the game up. It's just that simple. And so, that whole narrative, right, that all these people, they're just jumping in because it's free views, who do you think is making those views free? The blame is never on the content creators. The content creators are making something that other people want to see because they're sharing the same thoughts. If something's going really well, and then somebody just starts shouting from the top of the roof that things are actually bad, things are dog shit, but a majority of the players agree that the game is in a good spot, you just point and laugh at the guy for trying to start shit. But if things are going genuinely fucking bad, and there's somebody talking about how bad it is, if most people feel that it is bad, those videos will get a lot of views and a lot of traction. And that's exactly the phenomenon that is happening with Honkai Star Rail. This sort of meta of drama tubing about HSR is only possible because the devs have fucked the game up. That is the only reason. And so, it's as simple as this. You blame the devs every single time because it is always their fault.
And it's all my opinion. If you like the game, then please keep playing it. I will continue to make gacha content, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. Today, I was...
No, my advice is, even if you like the game, stop fucking playing it, because the only way that these stupid devs on the HSR, honestly, on the fucking Hoyo team, actually decide to make changes is if the game does not perform well monetarily. That is the only time they get off their ass, they stop stealing their paycheck, and they actually do something that makes the game better. That is the only time it occurs. The only time. You have to stop playing, you have to stop spending, and then the games will do what ZZZ did in 1.4, and they'll actually fix the fucking game.
I was originally going to make a video about why I feel the Star Rail story has largely been 2 years of nothing genuinely significant happening, and all the interesting stories they could be telling, but either chose not to, or it's hidden in relic descriptions, or even simulated universe walls of text.
I don't even know how anybody can think the Honkai Star Rail story is anything but slop. You want to know what the overarching theme of Honkai Star Rail is? A crew of explorers explore random places and do random shit. That's literally the fucking story. You just go on a magical train, go visit random spots, go do random shit, and just repeat it over and over again. It has to be one of the weakest, flimsiest, like actually just motivation-wise, one of the most dog shit stories in existence. You want to know the reason for going to Amphorius? We're running out of fuel. And one way for us to replenish fuel is to go to places we've never been before. That is the reason why 3.0 kicks off. They just need to go to a random fucking place. Are you serious? That's the overarching plot theme. That's the impetus for the Astral Express to begin this adventure. They need to go somewhere random. Oh yeah, HSR's story is amazing, guys. Oh yeah, the story in the game is so good. They have all these aeons, and they have the divergent, trivergent, convergent, allergic universes. It's so crazy. Look at all this deep lore and this deep story. Guys, it probably has the worst story out of all Hoyoverse games. I haven't even played Tears of Themis, and I'm pretty sure Tears of Themis has a better story. I'll put money on Tears of Themis having a better story than HSR, because HSR is like, it's not even a story at this point.
But honestly, I don't want to talk about Star Rail anymore after this video, and that was going to be my last one on the topic anyway. If the community wants the game to keep on this path, at this point, I'm happy to just let them lead the game in whatever direction it's going. Meanwhile, I want to make content that is either informative or opinionated, and I want it to be clear from the start of every video what my intention is. This video, much like the previous one, is a more opinionated video. There's a fine line between drama and rage baiting and opinions and critique, but the gacha community, and more specifically the Hoyo community, in my opinion has become so jaded that they just see everything as either deep-throating the company or being a drama farmer and having a hate boner.
Again, blame your fucking devs. Why do you think there are so few videos hating on Wuthering Waves? Let's be honest here. Why are there so few videos outright, like, just hating on Wuthering Waves, like there are videos hating on Hoyoverse? It's because there's just not really very much to hate in Wuwa. There's just not very much to hate at all. And so making this hate-focused content, this drama-focused content for Wuwa simply does not make any fucking sense, because there's nothing to talk shit about. There's nothing to point out as like a major critique that needs to be fixed. There's nothing to point out with devs not doing their fucking job, or like breaking promises, or fucking up the balance of the game. There is nothing to genuinely actually make this style of video around. And so that's why the content doesn't exist. Blaming the CCs for making this type of content for Hoyo games is not the right thing to do. You blame the developers for making dog shit content in the first place.
I hate the game so much, why the fuck do you think I played it every day? It's almost like I loved the game and know what it's capable of, but feel let down by the path that it's taken. It's like having a close friend. You don't talk for a while because life is busy, and then you find out they started selling drugs and lost their job over possession charges. You don't hate the guy as a person, and maybe you even try to help, but they've decided this is what they want in life. So you become distant. You still want the best for them, and you'll be there when they're ready to change. But fuck, it hurts when you see what they've become when you know what they could have been.
Did bro just compare the HSR dev teams to like drug addicts? So are we drug dealer shaming now?
The thing with drama is that it ultimately doesn't benefit anyone. Sure, posting drama and rage bait can get you an initial boost, but if you want to move away from drama, a lot of people will just stop watching because they don't care about you, they care about the drama. And if you want to continue posting drama, you will need to live with the fact that you'll get little to no sponsors, your reputation and credibility will not only be fractured, but you can have your entire future as a content creator ruined because people already have this preconceived notion that you don't know what you're talking about and just like to start shit. When you're a public figure of any kind, public perception is incredibly important, because if you want to be able to grow and develop, it's much easier for people to recommend you and want to affiliate with you when you're seen in a positive light.
That's what I think was actually so particularly damaging about, you know, we all know about the clip, right? We all know about the clip that was posted on Twitter. That was like Mr. Pokey talking about like the whole meta thing. I think that's why Techie was driving that point in so hard that he made a whole video about the topic, that Mr. Pokey and him had a chat on stream for like, I don't even know how fucking long that call was, right? It was like 7 hours. Was it like 5 hours? Where it was like Pokey, Tech, Jetazod having like a fucking group therapy session together. It was at least like 5 or 6 hours, right? 3.4 hours. Insane amount of time to be talking about it, right? Box 2, okay, Box 2 doesn't fucking count in that conversation. Bro actually was like, bro was not in that conversation. Let's be real here. I think that's why Tech was trying to drive in so many points regarding the like danger of the statements that were being made by Pokey. It's because, right, what's essentially being done is it's framing people as this sort of like negative CC, when the only purpose of those critiques in the first place is to fix the game and make it better because they love the game at some point and they don't love it anymore because of actual things that are going on. And just hand waving all of this types of all of this content away, hand waving all of this content away and just saying, huh, you're just jumping on the drama baiting content train, you fucking bum. No original content. You don't even know what to create. All you can do is just farm hate. You're a fake CC, right? That's not what was being said, but that's what people in the audience could be influenced to say by just claiming that people are going for a meta. And I think that's a big part of why Techie made such a big deal out of just a 30-second clip, or maybe 1 minute clip, however long it was.
Just look at what happened when Trash Taste had Hassan on the podcast. That didn't go down very well. They lost a lot of subs, and now their reputation has taken a hit because of this one moment. Causing drama and controversy makes it hard to make connections in the space, and you get stuck in a cycle of either covering drama or getting no views. In fact, because my last video has been seen as drama farming, my channel moving forward will likely suffer, since making a video that performs that well is going to be a monumental task that I'm not confident I can achieve.
Just keep talking more shit. There's plenty to do. Don't worry. Just wait until Castor Ricey releases. She completely fucks up the game. You could just talk more shit about HSR. This is the thing. I personally believe as long as your critiques are factual, they're based in reality, and you can actionably demonstrate why what's going on in these games is sending it right to fucking hell, and you have the glue, you bring the proof, you bring the solid reasoning, you're gonna build an audience that is relying on you, right? For a good take. You're going to build an audience that respects the viewpoint that you're bringing to the conversation, and you're not going to be viewed as just this quote-unquote drama baiter. There's a reason why that video he was talking about before, he showed the like ratio, it was at like 80, 88, 89%. There's a reason why that video has so many likes. It's not because, ooh, drama baiting is the new meta. It's because the guy made a good video with good fucking points, good comparisons, brought the glue, showed footage in comparisons to other games, and the argument made fucking sense. That's why. And if you're doing that when you're bringing your critiques, that's not drama, that's constructive criticism.
And that fucking sucks because I don't want to cover drama. Of course I knew the video would ruffle some feathers, but I didn't think the community would be so sensitive over some 80 sub Andy overlooking a fucking Pokemon move. People also think I made the video for the views and attention despite the fact I literally make no money from YouTube. My first video sat at 450 views after 48 hours and didn't go up at all until the second video 5 days later.
I'm not gonna lie, 480 views for your first video is not bad. Maybe I don't understand the YouTube game nowadays. I feel like 480 for your first vid actually ain't that bad.
After 36 hours, that second video was only at 50 views, and I had thought it was just dead in the water. You might not know this, but not everyone is looking to spread hate for some internet attention. Some of us just need an outlet for our thoughts and opinions. If I just wanted to hate, I wouldn't have mentioned the things that I personally prefer, and would have instead just said, yeah, no, weakness ain't shit, speed is designed like ass, stop acting like mechanics matter when you can't even fucking read. I could have even made the story video this week, and absolutely farmed these clowns who sit and watch drama videos all day, just to talk shit. Motherfuckers will open a video, and already know what their comment will be before it even starts.
So just make the video.
But that's not the channel I want to have. I don't want to be Tectone or Saint Tontus. Nothing.
What the fuck? What? 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 What is this? How am I getting called? How am I getting called out? How am I getting called out here? Guys. We need to stop this whole framing. We need to stop this whole framing of people having critiques for the game as drama farmers. Because we don't make negative content about the game if there's nothing negative to make content about. If the devs didn't keep fucking shit up every single patch, we wouldn't talk about it. And so this idea that, ooh, if you say anything negative about the game, you're just a drama baiter. Then what happens when the devs, like, what happens when dog shit changes get made? Are people just supposed to not talk about it, let it happen with a smile on our fucking face, and just basically get shit on? Is that what people want to happen? when your developer does stupid ass shit, just sit there, take it, and just not say anything and nobody makes content about it? I don't think that makes very much sense. A content creator's job is to make the type of content that people want to see. And if a dog shit change is made and people want to hear about how dog shit it is, and you're a content creator and you don't make content about how dog shit it is, you're kind of just not doing your job. Your job is to make something people want to see. And if people want to see people shitting on the game because the game's in a dog shit state and you don't make that content, you're not doing your job. And so all these people on the whole, oh, no drama baiting, oh, you can't do that, oh, you're so negative, you're basically telling somebody not to do their job. And if you're doing that, kindly go fuck yourself.
Against them, I watch them both, although sometimes I wish Saint would just stop talking about games that aren't wooer. But either way, that's...
I'll talk about whatever I want, buddy boy. Don't tell me not to do my job. Yeah, but how are we not talking about that ugly ass baby blue wallpaper in your background? Which dev chose that color? What's wrong with the baby blue in my background? I think it accents the color of my skin very well. I might not be as pasty as you, Fob, but I think it's a good look. Yeah, it's the pasty look. You're used to... Fucking, we all know one guy that's never getting skin cancer. You have to go outside to get that.
But either way, that's not the path I want to take. Instead of doubling down and being a Star Rail hate channel, I just want to talk about a genre that I'm passionate about. And if the Star Rail snowflakes are going to get mad at me for having an opinion, I'm just going to go talk about better games. You can enjoy your global passives and make up false notions about what gacha games are like to feel better about yours not being that good, and I'll make content about games that actually want to be a good game. And don't say they'll make changes only because a competitor is catching up.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't bro kind of just switch it up in the past minute? Not even the past, like that past 30 seconds. He was just like, yeah, I'm trying to take my channel in a different direction. You know, I want to be seen as more like the turn-based guy that's just talking about the genre. And then he proceeds to list out like 5 or 6 fucking things about what's fucked up with HSR. This video feels like I feel like he's almost confusing himself. It's like he knows what he wants to do. He knows what he wants to do and what type of content he really wants to make. And he's like, this video is like him almost trying to convince himself.
Actually want to be a good game. And don't say they'll make changes only because a competitor is catching up.
I think this guy needs to be a little bit more honest with himself, because right now he's cooking. This is the most passionate he's been the entire video. There is an internal battle right now. There's an it's the battle of the two wolves. You know, which one is he gonna feed more? Which one will come out on top?
Star Rail hasn't changed shit yet. We're praising them for shit they haven't even implemented yet, as if the game is saved. You think they want to make a better game for you, the player? Get over yourself. If Woowa 2.0 didn't shake the confidence of MiHoYo as much as it did, much less people would have
Do you guys get what I'm saying? Do you guys get what I'm saying right now? Now that we're like listening to more and more of this video, it's like he's just going in. Brother man, how can you say that you don't want to be like me when you are just regurgitating the same exact points that I've been making in all of my critiques of HSR? I have said all of these things in prior videos. And so you can't just say you're not trying to be like me and then literally repeat all of the same stuff that I said, that Techie has said, that the drama baiters of YouTube have been saying about the game. You could have just not said them, but you really want to.
And the company wouldn't have changed shit. In all honesty, I'm looking forward to what happens when all these big gacha games come out this year to see if MiHoYo is gonna sink or swim. I mean, look at Tribe 9, the game that I'll be streaming. If you guys haven't been keeping up with the game, on release, people weren't happy with the lack of premium currency in the game and the abysmal gacha rates. So you know what the company did? Instead of doubling down, being greedy, and making the players have to deal with this, they increased the income of gacha currency, they increased the rates on the gacha, and all the pulls you did before March 6th were refunded, but you kept what you pulled.
And the only reason they did that was probably because people stopped spending money on the fucking game. They were just like, holy shit, this gacha is dog shit. I'm just not even gonna invest in it in the first place. So again, fixing things, not really fixing things, just kind of like removing some of the predatory stuff.
If you spent 150 pulls on the gacha and you got, 2, 3, 3 stars, you keep those 2, 3, 3 stars and you get your pulls back. That lost them so much money, but it was the right thing to do for the players, for the game. Oh, and by the way, the game's been out 2 weeks. So why am I saying drama is getting out of hand? Because a video of some random guy on YouTube expressing their opinion should not summon the wrath of a community, especially when, while I did make some oversights that I'll address and had some opinions that not everyone will agree with, some of these comments are so desperate to find issues, and it really shows the lack of IQ of some people.
Let's think about it this way. Per capita in the world, there's like a certain percentage of people in the world that are going to be mentally ill. For example's sake, let's just say that 1% of people on planet Earth are mentally ill. If you were to compare that to the population that plays Hoyoverse games, I do believe that 1% jumps up to probably at least like 11 or 12. I would not be surprised if you took 11 Hoyoverse gacha players and you put them in a room, at least one of them would be mentally ill. I'm going to be real here. I do think you'd have a pretty, like, you just grab 10 of them at random. I think at least one of them will be mentally ill. I maybe put money on that. But when you consider how frequent just degenerate level behavior, lack of critical thinking, incapability in understanding basic concepts, when you understand how much that propagates in the community and how easy it is for something, a comment, a notion that makes no fucking sense to become popular because it attracts mentally ill people like honey attracts bears. When you realize that's a phenomenon that happens all the fucking time, you begin realizing, man, I probably am not caring very often about the comments. The things that you have to worry about is when somebody takes something that is 5% true and then rewords it, rewrites the narrative, and then basically just straight up lies and has like 1 or 2% of what they're lying about actually be true, and then use it to push forward a bullshit narrative. And that's where you have to start, like, thinking about, okay, this is a little bit annoying. But the nice thing is that in general, people that actually know what you're talking about won't fall for it. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people with a lot of time on their hands because they're mentally ill and they don't work a regular job. And they spend most of that time writing fan fiction about CCs. And I've seen more of it, more than enough for one lifetime, if I'm frankly being honest.
Everything you disagree with is drama. The problem is that you spend too much time online and are so desperate for content, you'll watch a guy who had like 88 subs the day before that video just to talk shit. If your game is so good, go and play it instead of defending MiHoYo's sword and shield for free on the fucking internet. It's
Yo, if HSR is so good, just go play it, dumbass. Why are you out here writing 400 YouTube comments an hour? Just go play the fucking game if it's so good. Oh, no, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is the thing. Bro knows. This creator, bro Shizukira, bro knows what he wants to say. This is like the disclaimer. This is honestly just a disclaimer that bro doesn't even believe in. Bro was basically saying this statement. This statement is basically a condom. That's what the statement is. This whole farming views chapter of the video, it's basically just like a condom. And then that's the protection for him to just say whatever the fuck he wants later on. Straight up. He's bringing the fucking heat. He's bringing the fucking heat for HSR right now. Bro's low-key going deeper than most other people when it comes to this topic.
Free on the fucking internet. It's embarrassing. So let's pull up some of these comments and summon the wrath of the Hoyo community one last time. And next week, we can all move on to some other gacha games. Now, I also need to address my own mistakes, and I'm sure a lot of people already know what I'm talking about, but I will clarify why it happened and why I think people are too fixated on it. When I talk about weaknesses in Pokemon, I use Will-O-Wisp as an example of a fire-type move, which is a terrible example on my end, since Will-O-Wisp doesn't directly do damage. Instead, it applies burn, which doesn't scale at all with weakness. Although I...
Alright, So this is him basically getting into countering semantics because some like,
Oh, well, actually, the one example that you decided to talk about doesn't really apply, even though there's an immediately adjacent one that would apply if we just, like, switch the framing and then we just, recognize that you might have picked the wrong move. But we're gonna hyper-focus on the fact that you chose the wrong move, and because you did that, that invalidates everything you're saying!
it happens so often, it's ridiculous. You know what you were talking about. They know what you were talking about. Everybody generally knows what you were talking about, but then people will hyper-focus on, like, this one thing that is, like, technically incorrect, and then use it as some sort of platform to invalidate your entire argument. And this is the thing. Just fucking ban those people. Just fucking ignore them. They're actually losers. They are actually 1,000%, undeniably, 1,000,000% losers. And I have a prime example of it. People that were trying to bag on me, trying to dunk on me, because I called the changes that were made to Brant on February 22nd that caused him to perform dodge counters in the air and fuck up his air combo. I called that a nerf. And then we had so many people going into this narrative that like,
Oh, for something to be a nerf, the character has to be released first. Oh, you're actually using the terminology wrong, and so that means your entire video's misinformation.
they act like there's one definition of the word nerf. They act like there's one definition, one tried and true use of the word, when literally the term unintended nerf has been thrown around so many times, it's ridiculous. But then people will latch onto that, knowing what was said, knowing what was trying to be communicated, but they just go ahead and they hyper focus on a definition that isn't even official. You look up the AI overview definition of a nerf. A nerf is a verb that means to reduce the effectiveness of something, such as a weapon or a character in a video game. Where is intentionality in here? Is that not what happens? Is that not what happened when it came to Brand's dodge counter, putting him on the ground while he's in the air? Was his effectiveness not reduced? Oh wait, it was. And so, it's a perfectly fine usage of the term. You don't like AI? Oh wait, the AI literally took it from Merriam-Webster. Where do we see official in here? Do any of you guys see the word official or intended in here? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Damn. Merriam-Webster.com has confirmed it doesn't need to be official or intended, but we're just gonna say that our definition is right. This is how stupid people can be. When you literally have actual proof in front of your face telling you that you're not right and that you're wrong, but you still think that you're right. Nothing about it being intended, nothing about it being official. A nerf is simply when something's effectiveness is fucking reduced. That's all it is. Broadly, to make something less useful or effective. Does it need to be intended? No. Literally, the devs of English, the English devs are confirming that. This is a dictionary, and they're confirming that there needs to be no intent, that it simply needs to reduce the power. But we're saying, oh, he's spreading misinformation because he called it a nerf. It's a bug. It's not. By Merriam-Webster.com, it is literally a nerf because intention does not need to be implied. You fucking idiots. All right, moving on. Let's get back into it. So we've confirmed that gacha communities can just be stupid. They can make absolutely no sense. They'll simply say that something is true and right or that you're wrong while having no actual basis in reality. They will substitute their opinion for what is actually in an official dictionary. And my oh my, it is one of the most intellectually dishonest thing that people like that can do. I guess Merriam-Webster is a saint viewer. Yeah, I guess Merriam-Webster is a Kurlbot. Yeah, I guess Merriam-Webster is actually drama baiting. I was wrong, guys. Yeah, no, Merriam-Webster.com edited that just so that they could drama bait more. They made that definition of the word nerf because they knew it was going to cause drama baiting. Yep. You're right. My bad. I apologize.
Doesn't scale at all with weakness. Although I will mention, literally seconds before that, I show an example that makes perfect sense.
That's what I'm fucking saying. You'll show an example that makes perfect sense, and they'll just be like, oh, didn't see it. Nope, I'm gonna hyper-focus on the one part that I think you got wrong.
nope, nope, oh, fuck everything else. Nope, nope, you did this, focus on this, dumbass.
That's just the meta. It's so intellectually dishonest to like critique a video or critique content in that way when it's just like, you gotta learn how to tone these people out, call them stupid, call them whatever thing you want. They're just dumb. They're so dumb.
But I guess everyone conveniently ignored it. That oversight happened because I really wanted to keep the analogy consistent. But unfortunately, the specific case of a ghost type using a damaging fire type move doesn't exist in the original Pokemon Emerald. Now, if you told me over 60,000 people would watch the video, I would have rewritten the entire section to make a more solid argument. But are we really going to pretend that Pokemon can only learn damaging moves of their type? Are we just going to ignore that effectively every single Pokemon learns normal moves? Or that a Pokemon like Swampert can learn Focus Punch, Ice Beam, and Iron Tail despite not being fighting Ice or Steel? Like, yeah, I fucked up in my example. But is the fundamental point wrong?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's literally the viewers being stupid. It has and always will be the viewers being stupid, realizing that they don't have an actual critique to make. And so the main focus of any comment or any approach that they have to your content is to cherry pick, hyper focus on things that don't actually matter, and completely miss the point in their attempts to prove you wrong. That's how it is. That's how it always will be. And when people start doing that, you realize they've already lost the argument.
No. Next up is the comments around expecting AAA quality from a mobile game, or just asking for too much. Sorry, but are we really acting like asking for meaningful game mechanic interactions is behind AAA games? Is it too much to ask for a skip button that literally exists in the game for minor pieces of side quest dialogue? I'm not asking for Monster Hunter. I'm venting my frustrations with systems that exist in-game that I believe the game ruined. I'm not even asking them to add shit. I'm asking them to fix what's there and stop adding shit that circumvents it. Another big one is that I didn't see anyone actually address speed properly. Some people disagree that Pokemon does speed better, and you're allowed to disagree, but not a single person seems to have understood that my argument was that I don't like how speed is super important, but so much comes from pure relic RNG, unlike Heaven Burns Red, where you earn those extra turns through acknowledging boss resistances. In fact, a lot of people argued points I never made, like this comment claiming that I'm saying farming is bad, which
It actually exists anytime you have a cutscene interrupted by losing a fight. Wait, what are you talking about, Sarah? There's a skip button. There's actually a skip button in HSR. When you lose the story fight, you get to skip the cutscene. Oh, devs listen. Nice. So the only way to access the skip button is to be dog shit at the game. Great. So there's no coding issue. The only way you ever see a skip button is if you just actually suck fucking ass at Honkai Star Rail. Gotcha. Okay. That's great to know. Devs listen.
Like this comment claiming that I'm saying farming is bad, which I never said. I said speed, which is an important stat, is largely kept behind RNG relics and rate up characters, which I think is bad. Farming in JRPGs is very different to farming relics in Star Rail, where oftentimes you're farming an RNG drop, but it's a drop that has guaranteed power.
As if the skip button is the loser badge. So the skip button is the consolation prize. You get to experience what actual good gameplay would have been in the genre. It's just, you have to waste at least let's be honest here. If you're losing a story fight in HSR, you probably spent a long time in that story fight. You probably ended up spending like 30 minutes fighting Adventurine or some shit, and then you ended up with a loss. Yeah, you'd probably just quit the game afterwards if there wasn't a skip button to get back into that fight. Let's be real here. If you're losing a story fight, you were fighting that story fight for a very long time. I'm 100% sure about that.
Drop that has guaranteed power, rather than a week of spending stamina for potentially 0 usable pieces. So here,
bro, hey, brother, man, Shizukira, you gotta stop regurgitating my arguments, man. Come on, I've been talking about that since day one, buddy boy. Hey, you're gonna attract some of my haters with this sort of attitude. You're gonna attract some generational haters with that sort of attitude.
So here, I'll just kind of rapid fire off a few more comments that I just think are either stupid or that I want to address. Let's start with this absolute gem. I can't comprehend this strange allergy towards games just being playable. So here's the thing. Literal shit is edible, but I don't...
Bro says one thing and then does another. Like... Like I said, guys, this entire part of the video where he said he wasn't trying to be like Tectone or me, that was just a disclaimer. I think he's just lying. I think he loves this. You can't make a statement like that without loving doing this. He likes making content like this. You don't make statements like that unless you like making content like this. Let's be entirely real here.
So here's the thing. Literal shit is edible. But I don't think you would appreciate that on your plate, would you? You can't complain about a PvE game. Yes, the fuck you can. Shut the fuck up. You don't need PvP to want a good game. If you're unironically and seriously playing gacha games in 2025, so bad. Yet you unironically watch and comment on videos about gacha games. How embarrassing.
He loves this. He fucking loves this.
Bad, why popular? Do we really still believe that everything popular is good in 2025? Sword Art Online Season 1, the first Paranormal Activity, Drake, Genshin Impact, Hassan, FIFA, Tectone? These are all incredibly popular. Are they all good? Not to everyone, no. Yanqing is Madarame but dumbed down. No, it's not. Not only can you ignore Yanqing's sword weakness, but you also can't prepare for the fight because the weaknesses are all RNG, and you can only bring 4 of the current 7 damage types. In fact, it's ironic because the best way to fight him is to bring weakness ignore. Holy doom posting. No, it's not doom posting. It's me talking about how I feel about a game and talking about what I personally prefer. When you critique Elden Ring, people say get good. No, when you complain that something is too hard or should be nerfed because you're not good enough, that's the response.
True. Most of the time in WoWomp, the critique to something is a mix of like get good and like or just play the game. Because again, we've talked about it before. I am 99% sure there is a bunch of people that are dying, right? That they would love to make content shitting on WoWomp. It's just they actually legitimately cannot. Because if they did, if they tried, then people would just kind of like be like, what in the fuck are you even trying to say right now? Like, what in the hell are you even trying to critique? Like, why are you saying this? This doesn't even make sense. That's the general approach that's going to be had when there's like attempts to fish content or fish critique when there's no actual reason to. There are plenty of things to critique about WoWa. It's just most of like the list items that you see for a Hoyo game aren't one of them because the devs have some semblance of an idea what they're fucking doing.
If you talk about actual bad game design, that's not the response you get. It just so happens that Elden Ring doesn't have many poor design choices. So in conclusion, the video definitely had flaws, but it's a video about my opinion and the things I prefer. In future, I'll try to better articulate my points, give more concrete examples, and do my best to avoid any oversights. But if you think I'm going to apologize for having a differing opinion, you should probably stop holding your breath because I'm not sorry. If you're
How is he gonna drop a video like this and then say, yeah,
I'm not gonna make any more critique-focused content anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna be a good little boy from here on out.
bro just spent a solid 7.5 minutes just shitting on the game and shitting on every person that tried to shit on him. 7.5 minutes just shitting everywhere. That's what he was doing. There's no way he's going to stop. There's no way.
We're here for Star Rail rage bait, you're in the wrong place.
Really? Really? After all that? After all that, you're gonna say this is the wrong place. Shizukira, I implore you. Just be honest with yourself. I don't think you want peace. I don't think there's a reason for there to be peace. When the game you love is being actively destroyed by developers who are blinded by greed and or stupidity and are making some of the worst updates and the worst changes that the genre, both turn-based and gacha, has ever seen, and you would just love to have some of these changes or some of these updates rolled back and the game to become a lot more playable, and you make content talking about what's wrong and why it should be changed or fixed, that's not rage baiting. People will call it rage baiting, they'll call it drama baiting, but it's just good content. It's just good content. It's what people want to see. And just because you're gonna have some actual idiots in the player base telling you it's not real content or that it's just drama baiting, just don't listen to them. Because they're stupid. If you took the advice of every stupid person, your life would be in fucking shambles. Because stupid people don't say smart things, and you shouldn't oftentimes listen to what dumbasses are saying. Because if you did, you would ruin your fucking life. And so, I think you got a good thing going. I think you got a great, eloquent way of building up points, and then tearing down dumbass stuff that's going on. And I don't think you should feel this pressure that you can't do it anymore because you got some dumbasses in your comment section telling you that you're doing something that you're not actually doing. Because why listen to these fucking idiots in the first place?
If you got the impression that I want to farm views by farming drama, then hopefully my future content will prove that otherwise. There probably won't be a video next week, since I want to take time to think about the specific direction I want to take my content, but after that there will be one. I know this video probably came off fairly aggressively, but I'm kind of frustrated that my first video that I think was much better is completely overshadowed by a video I made out of frustration with a game I used to love, and makes...
Because that's real. That's what they call base ed. That's something that it's a sentiment and it's a feeling that so many other people share, and that's why the video got so many fucking views. I don't think that's hard to understand. Trying to make drama or rage baiting content when there's nothing that the community is upset about, that content does fucking bad. Look at every video trying to shit on Wuthering Waves. It doesn't really do good. It doesn't do well. Why is it that games shitting on HSR do well? It's because the game is in a shitty spot. It's a problem caused by the developers. I just think it's just wrong to feel the pressure that you need to change what you're doing when you're literally making content people want to see. That's the job of a CC. Make things people want to see, and people want to see CCs shitting on HSR because the game deserves it, because the devs are fucking it up. It's really that simple. And any narrative, right, that people are just drama baiting, trying to farm, that's toxic positivity. That's corpa bootlicking. And it's a disingenuous way to frame content that is literally in the algo because people want to see it. It's not farming. It's addressing your users, your consumers.
The channel look like drama slop. Anyway, I've said most of what I wanted to. No more Star Rail for a while, as I mentioned at the beginning. I'll be streaming Tribe 9 on YouTube and Twitch over the next month or so. If you're interested, be sure to come over and hang out. With that said, have a good day.
Overall, I'd say the video was, in fact, pretty based and pretty true. Other than this flimsy disclaimer that we saw in this whole farming views section, I guess where the guy is sort of just like, yeah, I don't want to be like these creators. Oh, these creators should only talk about like another game. I think that policing other people's content is giga cringe. I think that if you make content and you want to make content and the content does well, do whatever the fuck you want. If you're making content and the content doesn't do well, then I'll make the suggestion to you that maybe you should change it up and do something different. Because clearly, if people aren't watching your videos, you're not really doing your job as a CC. My viewpoint is and always has been, if you're getting views, you're creating something that people want to see. And you're doing your job as a CC. And telling people that they can't do certain things, that they can't do their job, a little bit of a weird thing. But that's going to be my take. I think that you clearly have an objective. I think Shizakura has an objective. They know how to complete it, but they're like trying to convince themselves that it's not the right thing to do. And they're free to do whatever they want. But all I'll say is there's a reason why the content that was made in the past got the views, and continuing to make that content, it's not inherently a bad thing to do. Because if people didn't like it and it was actually a bad thing to do, it wouldn't get views in the first place. So with that, let me know what you all think. Peace.